Welcome back, guys. In the last video we talked about what the slope of an isocost line is, and we derived the slope and the y-intercept through the equation. Now we are going to talk about the British Industrial Revolution that took place in the middle of the 18th century, and we will talk about all of this through the same capital intensive technologies and labor intensive technologies, etc., which we talked in the previous videos. First of all, you guys need to know what are innovation rents. So innovation rents, actually innovation rents are economic rent, and we have studied what is an economic rent. It's a benefit which we earn, and that is benefit from the, first of all we should know that it's an economic rent. An economic rent is some benefit. And what is the benefit? Benefit from the option you choose, benefit from what you choose, minus benefit from the second best option. So innovation rent is just the same economic rent which we earn through some innovation. So it's just the innovation that which brings the economic rent. So we should know that how economic rents can be earned through innovation. So basically there are two things that actually cause innovation rents. So we should it's important to know that profits are something that firms look for. So how profits can come? By increasing revenues. First of all, by increasing the revenues. Number two is lowering the cost. So if you increase the revenue, you earn more profits. If you lower the costs, you actually earn more profit as well. So basically it's the difference between the revenues and the total revenue minus total cost that cause the profits. But what is actually that is more applicable in most situations? Now it's one or two. So many of you might not know, and many of you would have guessed it right, but it's the second one, because lowering the cost, there are many ways through which we can lower the cost, and one of them is innovation. So now let's come back to the British Industrial Revolution. So it took place in the middle of the 18th century, and what actually happened before this revolution? What actually happened? Now we have to talk in the same manner: labor intensive technologies, capital intensive technologies, and all that same technologies, because innovations come through technologies. So first of all, we should guess that what type of technologies would have been used before the Industrial Revolution. Many of you must have read something like people used to work really hard, and labor was the most important thing in producing things. So we can easily guess that, or to know that, labor intensive technologies were used before the Industrial Revolution. But the revolution took place, and after or at that time, capital intensive technologies actually became cheaper. And for Britain, what actually happened was that coal, which is a form of energy, became cheaper than labor. So now you can see, when coal, which is a type of energy, becomes cheaper than labor, so you can see that firms can easily switch towards capital intensive, coal used more, or we say energy intensive technologies and leave labor. And why? To earn innovation rents. And how will they earn innovation rents? Because coal has become relatively much cheaper. This coal has become much cheaper than labor, so the cost of making that things would become lower. I hope you guys understand. It's a very important concept, that what actually, and we can easily see that and the innovation did not stop. So what actually happened, once the capital intensive technologies came, labor was reduced and reduced, and innovations increased and increased, so that there were permanent increase in technology. There was no one technology that was now going to be used. Technologies were building up and improving day by day, and one of them reasons would be, and you can say, is that firms actually have competition, and when firms have competition, they want to earn rents. I'm talking about the innovation rents, the benefit, and rents to be better than other firms, and they want to be better than the other firms. They want more customers, so they'll keep on bringing up new technologies, so that other firms also have to act as a result. So the technology will keep up coming, and this actually what happened, and the industrial revolution took place, and we never stopped from that point. So I'm ending my video here, and I hope you guys understand how the industrial revolution took place, and how it's a revolution that just does not stop, and we are heading towards a vertical growth, unlike the horizontal one which took place 300 or 400 years before, and even before that, all the time. Thank you.